All right, hello everyone. Just checking out some new Blender 5.0 features. I got this nice node group here that just takes a text, whatever it is, YouTube. That's how you spelled it. There we go. Let me just pull this open. Takes a string to curves. I'm storing some information about that. I want to store the instance count. I want to store the index. That's just that node group. It's really actually quite simple. It's just taking the index of each instance 1 through 6, and then that advanced index is just this normalized function, and it takes it from 0 to 1. From there, I'm also taking the instance bound, so you can see this is 7. This does the same thing. It takes the index divided by the domain size, which we can see if I don't normalize this rendered view. Thank you. You can see a value of 0 to 1, whereas the original is just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can expect it to be. So when you divide these two, you get that, as you can see there. So we no longer need this, and we don't really need either of these. We do want to save this instance count, though. That does come in handy later. We just got a fill curve here, so we're just taking that mesh. It looks like this right now. We're joining that geometry with the offset, so it's just centered in our screen. We got that nice offset there. Now, I'm just taking this group input. I'm taking an instance bounds node, which just makes it into an offset, so you could set position and put the instances at the center. Combine bundle, we take that bundle, we separate that bundle so that we have access to the index vector and instance count, the things we put in here. If I wanted to add something else, I would need to update this one so that it has that now. If we update this one, it'll match to this one. This one doesn't have the index 001, which we don't want anyway, so save that. This is where the fun starts. We got a socket, we got the closure. This could just go straight to the group input. I just threw it in group input here and just put it in the bundle, because why not? I'm using new nodes. The input to this, basically I'm taking the geometry and passing it through this evaluate closure. And then I'm just giving the evaluate these three values, the vector, the index, and the instance count. Now this is really nice because we go outside of the node group and we have a closure that goes into this socket. So the closure is going in here and it's taking this input right here and passing it through here. Now I have several things that are happening to these instances. I'm rotating, I'm translating them. So I start off with just taking that geometry. Right now, we're passing it straight through. I take that vector, which is, remember, that center point of each instance. If I just go here, it's kind of weird. Now, if I use that center of the instance, you can see it's centered by that. That's just handy for this case. Then I'm also taking the instance count and dividing it by a value to get, remember how we have that 0 to 1? Well, we have that, and we're multiplying it by the index. Now, secondly, we're translating instances. Now, these are still in effect going along their axis, as you can see. Now, it's just taking a noise texture and you do this so that you get, instead of the grid being a positive, or from 0 to 1 on each, it takes it from our 0.5 to our negative 0.5. This is our range. It centers that. We could just mute that, which actually in this case looks a little better. I was going for a wonky animation style, so I decided to go by an index base. But yeah, we're also adding 1 to this original index, because if you don't, you're starting at 0. So this first index is not going to be doing anything. So this is our closure zone. That's set straight in here. You can imagine it as if all these nodes were right here, and the geometry went in here and the geometry came out here. So that's the evaluate closure node as well as the bundle node. I hope you learned something, or let me know your thoughts.